the Shiur. Okay, Shiur, Amud, Yomi again. Here we are, new week, not a new Amud. We're in the middle of an Amud. Lema ketanoi. That's where we are holding in the middle of a sugya, but it's very easy to catch on to that middle of the sugya. Bezos Hashem, Shem should be giving us koyach to learn more His holy Torah. Bezos Hashem. Lema ketanoi. Line starts with the word lemashma mino. The Shiur is lenishma tovimor Menachem Ben Akiva Ruth Bas Shalom Tzom Bas Moshe ולהצלוחס חן בס ירדנה גבריל יוסף בן מרתה ישוע שלמה. Weiter. Lema ketanoi. Let us say like the Tanoim. What does that mean? We had a question regarding when does a person accept shmira. What does that mean? When a person says, I will be a shomer chinam, of course he's a shomer chinam, and also he has to pull it into his place or let you put it in his house. So there's physical action and the declaration, I am here by a shomer chinam, that he's obligated, or shomer socher, whatever that is. What happens when the lashon is more ambiguous? Which means, if you say, can you look after my stuff? And he says, put it next to me. Will you be my shomer? Put it next to me in front of my eyes means yes, I'll be your shomer. If he says, on the other hand, you want me to look after it? Put it over there. Imagine yourself, it's not Reshus HaYochid. Even in Reshus HaYochid it can happen, by the way, and that's going to be exactly the question. But let's say it's not Reshus HaYochid. Let's say it's Reshus HaRabim, it's the airport. You go to the toilet, you want a guy should, to duty-free shopping, whatever, you want the guy to look after your suitcases. Can you look after my suitcases? Put them on your bench. That's not exactly inviting. And then Ravuna says, is it Ravuna? Yeah, he says, then no, then you're not a shomer. The question obviously is what happens in between. It's always the gray areas that are difficult, which means, let's say the person says, place them here, not in front of me, mamish, but not over there. He uses more like an ambiguous lotion. You can put your stuff there, which means not very close to me. Now, this question could either be in Reshus HaRabim, or it could also be in the person's private house. Even when the person tells you, you go knock on his door, and it is his chotzer, so there is like a kinyan chotzer vis-a-vis the shmira, but who says he agrees, right? If he says, place it here, in other words, in the middle of the salon and the guy's in the kitchen, it's not so clear. It's okay that your stuff is there. It's not going to call the police on you that you put his stuff against his will, your stuff in his house. But does it really mean that he's willing to be a shomer, that he's taking full responsibility? That is still a question, right? That's a question we're asking. We're asking the question vis-a-vis both Reshus HaRabim and Reshus HaYochid. Although we said, although we said that in order to have a kinyan, one explanation, I can have a kinyan Reshus HaRabim, he didn't pull it. One answer was it's a simta. A simta is Reshus HaRabim, which is more of a quiet corner, like a corner in the airport where people are supposed to sit on benches and they keilu own temporarily that area. There, a person has his daled amos. And if you put it in his daled amos, then that place is similar to kinyan chotzer. Again, kinyan chotzer, it's his. It's his for shmira, right? It means it's in his domain vis-a-vis shmira, not his to go and eat it or use it. It's his for shmira. It's his domain. Plus, he has to show consent. The question is, if the person says, put it here, not in front of me, not in front of there, middle area, is that accepting shmira? Does that mean, yes, I'm responsible or not? That's the name of the game. That's a question. But now, lema ketanoi, we're not clear from our Mishnah. But more wants to say, Bezos Hashem, Siyata Dishmaya, lema ketanoi. Let us try and see, maybe this issue is as of itself, machloikis between two Tanoim in Bava Kama, which we learned, don't remember where, Memzayin, I think. It says in the Mishnah, let's say the person, the owner of the object, which object? I don't know, computer. The Mishnah there talks about what? A bull or payrolls, your animal, your fruit, and it was with the reshus, with the permission of the owner of the chotzer. Chayev, the owner of the chotzer is now liable as a shomer, right? Although I have a horror to say over there, it talks about that he's mechuyev to be shomer from his own animals. You put your cat in his house, you're responsible now that your dog is not going to bite it. I'll leave that aside. It's a question I had. Let's ignore that. And let's say that the person is totally chayev on anything, even dogs or cats that come from the outside. He's a shomer. Once he says, yes, put it in my house, bang, you're stuck. You put your foot in, how do you say? You put your foot into it and you're chayev. Okay? And Rabbi Omer, mashma from Tanakama, you don't have to say, especially, yes, put it right in front of my eyes, right here in the kitchen. Put it in the dining room, and that's already mechayiv you. Rabbi Omer, Rabbi argues on Tanakama and says, "Bekulam einu chayiv achi kabel olav labais lishma." No, in all these cases, and the Gemara there differentiates between the bull and Peros. I don't even remember the difference. But Lemaisa, Rabbi says, no. If he just says, "Put it in my house or in my chotzer, in my backyard," who says I'm a shomer? I'm okay with you, yeah. Okay, I'm okay with you putting it there. I have no complaints, yeah. And maybe even according to Rabbi, I'm not sure if my dog does something to its responsibility. But says Rabbi, if somebody comes from the outside, no. Unless I say I am a kabel, I hereby accept shmir. I'm not a shomer. Or in front of my eyes right here, yeah. But if I just said ambiguously, put it in my chotzer, just because I'm allowing you to have it in my chotzer, in my backyard, in my front yard, in my chotzer, doesn't mean that I'm actually a shomer. So it looks like our question is a mefush machlokes tanoim. What is there to ask? It's a machlokes. You're learning Bava Metzia, very nice. Go to the previous masechta, Bava Kama. It's a machlokes rishonim. Excuse me, machlokes tanoim. Okay, says the Gemara. Now the Gemara dares to say, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that you can compare between the two cases. And now let me stress what I was hinting to before. The case over there is exclusively. I'm not reading. I'm giving you a small intro. Yeah, as you correctly told me, parents, I have to give more introductions. Thank you. In the case over there, the one clear case is it's in my chotz. I'm the shomer, or maybe not shomer. I'm the one who's asked to be a shomer, and it's in my chotzer. Houses, chotzer, courtyards, patios, call them whatever you want. Usually, there are places that are guarded, right? The house has walls. Last time I checked, yeah, or there's the chotzer even has walls around it. It's a kept place. It's a guarded place. It's a secure place. Yeah, closed area. Yeah, Corona style. That's the story over there in Bava Kama. Our story, not necessarily so. Our story could be even in an airport, even in a simta, in a street, in a quiet street. It could be no man's land. Our story of our Mishnah. And that's what the Gemara is going to harp on. And the Gemara will now find a difference between the person who says ambiguous, in his own house versus the person who says, in the airport or the train station or in the spaceship, wherever. Why? What's the difference? Mimai says the Gemara, how do you know? How do you know to compare? Dilma, maybe, Adkan lo kamri Rabbanon hosom. Over there, Rabbanon only said, what's hosom? Over there. Rabbanon over there said what they said, the what? That it is an automatic shmira. Automatically put it here, not right in front of me. Is an automatic, yes, I'll be a guard. Why? Because over there we talk about a closed area, the bas neturihi. The chotzer is the place which is naturally guarded. There is a wall, there is a fence. The chikomerle ayil, when he said, yes, bring it to my what? To my guarded area, to my enclosed area, ayil de imtalach. He means to say, yes, I will look after it because it's a closed place. I don't even have to work hard. I'm in the kitchen, the thing is in the chotzer, I'm going to have a look here and there. It's automatically guarded, and it's not so hard for me to guard and make sure it doesn't get lost or stolen because it's naturally guarded. So my yes automatically means yes, I'll be shomer. It's automatic, easy. Yes, put it in a guarded area, so I'll guard it. What else do you do in the house? But over here, shuka. Over here, it's the marketplace, maybe a quiet corner of the marketplace, maybe the airport train station. Train station in some countries, you don't hold your bag, 24/7. No way. They'll steal it in a second, right? And an open area is not naturally guarded. No way. In the middle of the street, some places in the world you have to walk with your hands in the pockets all the time. Yeah, there's so many pickpockets. Yeah. So what? It's not a place that's naturally guarded. And therefore, when I said yes, put it here, as long as it didn't say in front of my own eyes, what I meant was anach v'tiv natalach komerle. He says, yeah, put it here. I'm okay with you putting it next to me. It doesn't bother me, but you should guard it. Unless it's clear that I'm willing to be mekabel shmira, then no, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, if it's in my house, it's guarded, means I'll guard it. If it's in the airport, who says I'm willing to accept shmira? I also want to go to the toilet in 2 minutes. I also want to go shopping duty free. Who says I'm mekabel shmira? It's a very unguarded place. You're sticking me here, like these cruel kid games, you have to be stuck to the place half an hour to look after something. Mapitom. Not necessarily so. So the Gemara separated and divorced the case in Bava Kama, which was Rishus HaYochid, which is naturally guarded, and yes means yes, I'll guard it, as opposed to over here where yes means yes, fine. Want to put it next to the airport? Okay, I'm nothing against your blue suitcase. Inami. Or now let's break the comparison according to Rebbe. Rebbe is the one who said what? Adkan inami, as well as also Adkan lo kama Rebbe hosam el bechatzeroy. Over there, Rebbe said that it's not an automatic shmira. When I say bring it to my house, when you want to bring to, what do the English say? My home is my castle, right? You want to bring something from my house? Okay. When I says okay, put it in my house, what does it automatically mean? Right? Of course, you can't just put your stuff in someone else's house. When I say yes, put it here, I'm okay with you entering my domain, penetrating my domain, and what? And you need to ask permission. You need to be civil and halachically so to ask permission to put the stuff in your friend's house. Right? He says, when I said yes, you can put it in my house, means yes, you have permission to enter my domain with your big fat animal or your bull, your suitcase, or your computer. You're allowed to put it in my house. Fine. But you want to guard it? No, nobody spoke about that. I meant sit there and guard it yourself. I'm okay with it being in my house, but as long as they didn't say, yeah, put it right in front of me in the kitchen counter where I'm cooking now, then what do I mean? Okay, put it in my house, but you guard it. Who's thinking about guarding? I'm okay with you. But the Gemara says a punchline. Avalocha over here, when the guy's in the street in no man's land, in the airport, in the train station, in the bus markazit, Hanach, when he says place, the anamatana komerle, when he says yes, you can put it next to me, even not really next to me, but next to me, part of the area. Of course, he means to say I am going to guard it. Why not? Listen to this clear. If you want to say, says Rebbe, or Rebbe would say, if you want to say, yes, you can put your suitcase here, but I'm not going to guard it, you're going to guard it. The tar, you should guard it. You tar, he says to him, just to place it there. I need your permission to put my suitcase next to you in the airport. You didn't buy the airport. Who are you? In other words, avada, when it's in my house, says Rebbe, and it says yes, the yes is not automatically interpreted as yes, I will guard it. Yes, it's okay that it's my house, and it's okay to put it there. Mashenkin in the train station, in the bus station, wherever, when it says, can I put my suitcase next to you? The answer is yes. Obviously means yes, I'll guard it. Otherwise, just to put it there, it doesn't need permission. I'm sitting here in the airport. The cubicle, the thing right next to me, it doesn't need permission. So what's the give and take between us? The yes automatically means yes, I'll guard it. Again, this is not muchach, but it's very likely. All we did was, don't get confused, we broke the comparison, which means over there by Rishus HaYochid, both Tanakama and Rebbe, each one on his own side, has svaris, have reasons to say things that don't apply to Rishus HaRabim. Either Rabbanan say yes means of course I'll guard it. Mechotza is automatically guarded. My house has walls, very interesting idea. Memela what? Of course means guarding. Rebbe says no. My house means my castle. I allow you to invade. That's all. Doesn't mean I'm shomer. Both svaras don't apply in Rishus HaRabim. So we're still in the question. So the question regarding Rishus HaRabim, whether a parav lotion of shmira, is it yes or no? Unfortunately, I did not look in the halacha. Please forgive me, Hashem Levagan Gazalnu, one of my sins. I did not see the halacha lamaisa, but okay, I have to see. So, I can see from the dalid. You see a dalid on the letters hastam veloy klum, mashma that it's not a shmira. The gadol, that the little letters show you what the halacha is in general. Depends. Rambam. Yeah, but generally speaking, you'd say that it's loiklum. That stam if a person used the power of lotion or Rishus HaRabim, it doesn't mean that it's going to guard it for sure. It just allows you. It's okay with him that it's next to him. Questions. Now to start a new sugya, which the svaras, the ideas are quite deep. A lot of different ideas in the Rishonim. My chavrusa and I, each one by his own level. His level is much higher. Each one tried to bring his own ideas, look in the Rishonim. What I'm going to tell you now is my understanding of the sugya, which I worked on. I hope it's right. B'siyata d'shmaya. I hope I'm not chas v'shalom misleading anybody. If yes, I hope Hashem forgives me. You forgive me. You can look up commentaries afterwards yourself. What I'm about to say is the way I understand the sugya after reading Rashi, some Tosas, Ritzvah, v'chulei. That's my hopefully correct understanding. The Hashem yeh be'ezri. Yeh mechaper my avoinos. Ilvaro l'mashkon shomer socho. We said in the Mishnah that if the person lends someone money and he got a mashkon, and I don't know if I'll translate it ever again today, is a collateral. In normal English, the close collateral. What does that mean? Let's say I lent you, let me be the lender for a change. I lent you 20,000 shekels, and then I say, listen, 20,000 shekels, then in collateral, I want to collateralize. You're very nice. You have those nice candlesticks over there, heirloom, very, very fancy candlesticks, 20,000 shekels. They'll be in my house until you pay. I'm not going to all the details. We have to give it back every day. Yeah, that's collateral. Yeah, let me ask you a question. And today the issue is mashkon. That's the topic today. How does Allah view mashkon? We're going to look at mashkon from like 6 different angles. Let me ask you a very simple question. When I was a child, I asked people, what does mashkon mean? When we learned it, why do people take a mashkon? Quick. Why I gave 20,000 to ensure that man will come back. Oh, in other words, if you meaning, imagine yourself from 3 years old. So what does that mean? The what? If uncle and so doesn't give us back the 20,000, we'll keep his candlesticks. Okay, that's a classical way to understand mashkon. That's really nice, and it's not wrong. It's not wrong. We see in halacha that's at least three reasons I will look at mashkon in halacha. So let me actually give an introduction before we start, another intro. As we see Ledaiti heavily alluded to in Rashi, there are 3 reasons why a person would take a mashkon. Reason number 1 is because, let's say there's no shtar, no edim, and the person may just lie to me. Yeah, I'm the malve. He's going to say 20,000 shekels. Which 20,000 shekels? There are no hidden cameras in your house. Ha ha ha. No 20,000, right? So then I'll show. Look, what do your candlesticks do by me? Everyone knows I'm not a ganav. Yeah. So those candlesticks, that collateral is not a show. It's a proof. It's a proof that you borrowed. I don't know if it's the best proof, but it's a way to show that something happened here. Yeah. Second idea is what Peretz was saying. Of course, I want my 20,000 shekels back. Do I want his candlesticks? That's lotachmoid, chas v'shalom. I'm religious. What do I want? I want my 20,000. But what you say, Peretz, is that's, I would call it in English, means of pressure to make sure you bring it back. Bring back my 20,000 in Rosh Chodesh Tammuz, because that's due date, right? And if not, your beautiful candlesticks from Alte Bube from Poland, from Morocco, is going to stay with me, right? Really, I want my money, right? I wasn't yet paid. In both cases, was I paid? What paid? Crazy, not paid. Either I just want to hold the candlesticks because to prove the point instead of Eidim, or of course I want in a month's time to get my 20,000 cash. I prefer bank transfer, and then the candlesticks will come to you. But if not, bad boy, you may not get your candlesticks back. That's option number 2. Option number 3, this is actually more. Option number 3, let's not talk about it. Option number 3 is I'm in absolute love with those candlesticks. I really, really like them. As far as I'm concerned, I already was paid. Alevai, don't tell anybody. I wish he doesn't pay me 20,000, because I really 20,000. I have 5 billion. But I want those candlesticks. And when I took them from him, really for me, there was a mode of payment. As far as I'm concerned, I was paid. LMI, he has the right to change it and pay me with cash, because that's the agreement. But if he doesn't pay me in a month's time, then I'll be the happiest person on earth, because really I got my candlesticks that I like so much. And over lotachmod, don't give me muster, okay? Leave me alone. Okay, so bekitzer, these are the 3 options, or all 3 together. Actually, no, the 2 together cannot be. Yeah, in other words, either it's just ways to prove. I prefer no questions as we start. Yeah, either means to prove, or this is second best, meaning I want my money, and if not, what can I do? I'll have to get your candlesticks. Or thirdly, I was already paid. I was paid with the candlesticks. Now he could really. By the way, this whole show I made about liking the candlesticks, not necessarily the Indian here. The point is, halacha maybe view the lender as being paid already with the candlesticks, with a mashkon. LMI, the other guy can change it back, but really it's like a prepayment already. He bets and paid his debt halachically, which is a big difference we're going to see. LMI, he may change that to paying more classical way, because what can I do? That's what that's what the agreement says. So then he'll pay me cash and buy back from me his collateral, which may be my collateral already, yeah, which is really my candlesticks. That's what I like. That's what I wanted. That's what I didn't like. These are the 3 options. Begadol. With that in mind, we're going to play the game, and it's really not so difficult. We're going to get the Bezos Hashem. If you have very, very to the point questions, yes, but don't ask me if and what, because the whole sugi is about if, what, and okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You're great guys. Lema Mesnisin. So what did we say in the Mishnah? Well, what did the Mishnah say? A person who actually holds a mashkon in his hand, let's say the mashkon was lost or stolen. Those candlesticks, I looked after them well enough. Meaning I wasn't posher. I like them. You like them. We all like them. Yeah, the candlesticks are choshuv. I put them in the vitrina. How do you call it? In the passive vitrina in English. No, this all the Israelis have it. I have it too. The pain. The pain in the house. Not pain. P-A-N-E. Not the P-A-I-N. It's pain to clean it. Not a window pane, but it's like a cupboard, which is like with what break front. Yeah, break front. The kid, so he has it in his cupboard in the house. Yeah, the transparent thing, and he locked his house properly. What? Cabinet, glass cabinet, and then it was stolen or lost. Actually, something happened. Whatever, the cat ate it. Something. So now, if it's a shomer chinam, is he chayev? No. If it's a shomer socher, he's chayev. Yes. Gneva vaveda. We all know that. What's his status? He's a malve. He's a lender. He's looking after the item that belongs to the borrower. What's his status? Right? Said the Mishnah. I'm reading now inside. It's time to start with the fourth wide line. A person who's malve, someone al hamashkon, receiving a mashkon right away, whatever the mashkon is, then he's a shomer socher. If got lost or stolen, you got to pay, mister. You got to pay, regardless of the other agreement. You have to pay me now 20,000, which means maybe what? You just don't have to pay your loan later. The Meister, there's mutual debt here, 20,000. If the mashkon is exactly the same as a loan, yeah, you have to pay it back. So you lost your loan. Yeah, Beseder. Zog the Gemara, Lema Mesnisin, let us assume, let us suggest that Mesnisin, the local Belezer. It looks like our Mishnah does not follow the opinion of Rabbi Lezer, because we're going to see now Machloikas, big Machloikas, then Machloikas will follow us throughout the entire Amud and beyond, Machloikas between Rabbi Lezer and Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Lezer and Rabbi Akiva had an interesting relationship. Rabbi Lezer at some point in his life was out, as we learned before, was already, how do you say it, was Becherem, was already an outcast, ostracized, yeah, excommunicated. Rabbi Akiva was the only one who somehow a little bit kept in touch with him, very little. Rabbi Akiva was his Talmid of Rabbi Lezer. So Lezer and Rabbi Akiva in the good old days, the Rebbe and the Talmid argue, and that's legitimate. But Lamaisa, you have a Rebbe and a Talmid arguing one, two big Tanoim, Rabbi Lezer and Rabbi Akiva. It's important to know that also later I'll explain to why I'm saying this. The Tanya, what's a machlokes? Amalva is chaver al mashkon. A person lent money to his friend over a mashkon, received a mashkon. You know what mashkon means, yeah? The over the mashkon, and the mashkon got lost. What shall the shomer do? The shomer mashkon, which is also the lender, what should he do now? Ishova. He should swear. Really, there are three shvuos. I'm not going into details. He should be nishba. He wasn't posher. Be nishba. He was not posher. Once he was not posher, the yitol ma'oisov. Now he takes the 20,000. What does that mean? He's a shomer hinam. Shomer chinam, swear you're not posher, because if you were posher, it would be chayiv, meaning shomer chinam, right? If you're not posher, meaning because you're shomer chinam, you are absolutely what you are, nimchal. It's okay. Yeah, you're being forgiven, and now you'll have to you have the right to not take your 20,000 from him. In other words, the fact I lost your mashkon, I'm shomer chinam. Shomer chinam doesn't have to pay for what? For gneva v'aveda. I can swear I looked after the house normal, nice, wasn't playing well with the smartphone while the candlesticks were having a walk in the park. I'm okay, guy. Diva Rabbi Lezer. In one word, Rabbi Lezer says what? The shomer mashkin is shomer chinam. Why is it shomer chinam? Says Rashi. Because the only reason, according to Rabbi Lezer, it could be two reasons. The main reason, according to Rabbi Lezer, is the reason number one I told you before. Why is a person taking collateral a mashkon? You know why? He wants to have a proof. He wants to have a proof. There are no edim, no star, nothing else is a proof, no head, no cameras, if they're halachically are okay, which I think they are. And therefore, how they know that you're not going to just ignore? Because you're a nice guy. People are very nice until the money. And therefore what? Those mashkon, those candlesticks are not, listen to this, are not an extra thing. They're just means to get what I deserve. Shomer socho, according to some Rishonim, Smashma from Tosas Ritz would actually attack Rashi. The idea of shomer socher is what? Shomer socher means I'm looking after your crazy dog, like a meshugana. Dog sitting, it's very hard. Pay me 100 shekels an hour, right? It's work. You have to pay me more than I lose. Let me ask you a question. Let's say somebody would give me a dog to look after, which I wouldn't even for $1 million. Yeah. Let's say somebody gives someone a dog to look after. The dog makes the house dirty. Yeah. He leaves the hair over the Chinese and Persian carpet. And the guy, the shomer tells the owner of the dog, don't pay me anything, but just pay me for the cleaning. Pay me for the basics. He shouldn't be mazik my house. Is that called shomer socher? No. I'm not taking extra socher. I'm just trying to even out the loss. Because your dog ate all my kids' homework. They like it, yeah? He ate all my carpets and he made everything dirty with poop and everything. excuse me. Yeah, and therefore what? To just get to even, that's not called Masham Socher. Says Abelezer, I'm holding your fancy candlesticks because that's ways to just either say to prove that that I am really that I lent you money. It's just a ways to get my basic 20,000. It's not called shomer socho. They get anything extra from you, right? And therefore, such a situation is not called shomer socho. It's called shomer chinam. Well, our Mishnah said shomer socho. Rabbi Lezer says shomer chinam. Looks like the Mishnah is not Rabbi Lezer, which may not be the end of the world. Rabbi Lezer is a Tana. You can argue in the Mishnah, but that seems to be so far the Kivin. Rabbi Akiva comes and says a whole different story. No, Rabbi Akiva says what happens when a malve lost the mashkon, a lender lost the collateral. He can tell him, meaning the borrower is very angry now that he lost his candlesticks, can say, Plumil vitani ela la mashkon. Didn't you lend me money in order to get the mashkon, to receive the mashkon? Let me add with a small voice, as a payment, it's a prepayment. Over the mashkon, of the mosecha. You lost the mashkon, you lost your payment. Of the mosecha, that's it. In other words, when I gave you the mashkon, there was like a prepayment. You love my candlesticks. Not that he has to love them. I'm just trying to bring it to mind, to Mesaber Soizen, to bring it to life. I paid you with candlesticks. You lost the payment. You lost it. What can I do? Or, why is it called shomer socher? You can say it's called a shomer socher. That's what I understood from other Rishonim. That it's called a shomer socher because, you know why? Lemaisa, it's more than just making sure my money will come to me. I know that now my prized item, the item that I really, really want, is in my house and not in yours. And if you don't pay me, I'll take it after half a second, right? So knowing that the item which I want is in my house is more than just regular payment. It's my preferred payment. That level can be called shomer socho. To be in such a state of being so superior, because of course, some Rishonim ask on Rashi, I'm following Rashi, they ask, why is it called shomer socher? If you talk about evening out, it's also evening out, right? It's also like just making sure the dog doesn't make the carpet dirty, right? However, I think the pshat is it's more than just being evened out. I gave you 20,000 and I got candlesticks, and I like the candlesticks better. So mainly it's called being a shomer socher. I'm holding to the candlesticks knowing that my preferred item is by me and not cash, or not your other item, your disgusting computer of 20,000, which I don't want. After that, mainly Rabbi Akiva says that's shomer socher. It's more than just making sure I'm going to get my money back by proving. I'm really, really having my preferred thing now as a shomer socher. That makes me a shomer socher. We're going to see later on, shomer chinam and socher is not a black and white business. A lot of gray areas. We'll see it later much clearer. That's not going to be my idea. Yeah, many times there are all kinds of side benefits, which can be machlokes tanoim, ramoroim, and rishonim. That called shomer socher, shomer chinam. A lot of all kinds of side benefits can make a person be considered shomer socher, or maybe it's not enough of a socher. It's called shomer chinam. Here, Akiva says, you got it for your payment. To have your prepayment so nice and ready, it's not just making sure you'll be paid later. You were paid, your best preferred thing. If so, b'vakasha. Now you already get it, you got it paid, very good. Now you're called a shomer socher. You lost it? Shomer socher lost, has to pay. Well, how do you pay? By not charging me. We're evened out. That's it. Lamai say you were paid and you lost your payment. That's Rabbi Akiva. That's Begadol. We're going to elaborate more. Aval, in order, 1 second. However, Ilvau, one thing both parties, Rabbi Lezer and Rabbi Akiva, would agree. Ilvau 1,000 zuz b'shtar. Oh, let's say a person lent his friend 1,000 zuz, but there was a shtar. Oh, there was a shtar. What does shtar mean? A document that tells you two things. What does the shtar do? I'm stopping in the middle on purpose. Shtar has two purposes. First of all, you can't lie. There's a shtar with Eidim, based in Eidah Haredis, the two biggest Eidim in Yerushalayim that money can buy. Yeah, the two Eidim, it's a shtar. You can't deny. It's better than hidden cameras. And the other idea is, parents, you're saying, what's a collateral? If you don't get paid, I'm going to get the candlesticks. No, by a shtar, you have even better. A shtar automatically means what? That if you don't pay, what do I get from you? You saw it all over Shas. Karka, land. Shtar automatically means land, even if it's not written. Yeah. In other words, so shtar already, out of the three purposes of mashkon, if shtar is there, then two purposes already taken care of. So really, why did you take the candlesticks, even though you have all the securities in the world? Why? In this case, Rabbi Eliezer would agree to Rabbi Akiva, took the candlesticks because you want your payment. It was a prepayment mamish. Wasn't it security if what to make sure it doesn't play games with me? I was paid mamish. And you know what? I love those candlesticks. They're amazing. They're cool. I'm going to sell them in soft pays. Yeah, they're nice. I'm just saying this next thing. Yeah. So how would both opinions tackle that idea? Ilvau elef zuz b'shtal, 1,000 zuz for a shtal. V'niach lo mashkon aleim. And now a mashkon was given. Clearly, it's not just security. What is it? Mamish a payment. Divrei hakoil. Everyone would agree, even Rabbi Lezer, over the mashkon of the moisov. Then everyone would agree that in such a case, both, even of course Rabbi Akiva, even Rabbi Lezer would agree that if the mashkon got lost, you're shomer sachor. You're not an owner mamish. Once you're an owner, you got paid. No, you're an owner with limitation, as we're going to see later in the Rishonim. That's, I believe, very much in what I'm saying. If you own something, but you know that if Rosh Chodesh Tammuz comes, which is a payday, and he's going to pay you cash, you'll have to say goodbye to the beautiful candlesticks. Farewell party. Well, the Maisa, he'll give you money, and you'll have to give him back the mashkon, right? That's kind of mashkon is not a full payment, it's partial payment. It's a 70-80% payment. That makes you, having the 80% payment in your hand, put you in the status of shomer socho. But don't be so happy, because Lamaisa, we're still in the question. Are we really saying Rabbi Lezer is against our Mishnah? Because our Mishnah did not speak in the case of a shtal. Our Mishnah spoke about a guy who's stam taking collateral, a mashkon, to his house, and what happens then? Says the Mishnah, the shomer chinam, and Rabbi Lezer says shomer socho. It's very simple. Well, the Mishnah seems to be not like Rabbi Lezer. Not that it's the end of the world, but is that so? Is the Mishnah not really going to Rabbi Lezer? That's a question. And with that, we're going to follow through and through. Yeah. Quick question time, because we didn't even start today's Amud. Yeah. Says no. Our Mishnah can be very good friends with Rabbi Lezer. Below kasha, it's not difficult. Kan shemishkan b'shasal v'osoi, kan shemishkan shelo b'shasal v'osoi. Timing is everything, which means when our Mishnah spoke, Mishkan b'shasal v'osoi. Let me translate first. B'shasal v'osoi means when everything was hunky dory, we made the Rosh Chodesh Sivan, we made an agreement. I lend you money, give me the collateral. When are you going to pay me back? Tammuz. Oh, very nice. Then, of course, then said Rabbi Lezer, when I take your candlesticks, I'm not trying to be paid. When is payday? In a month's time. Who's talking about paying? No, that's not called payment, says Rabbi Lezer. It just means of security. You don't play games with me. Okay. Therefore, what's my status as a shomer? Shomer chinam. I wasn't yet paid back, right? And which Rabbi Akiva argues with. Now, our Mishnah talks about the mashkon took place after the bailiffs came to his house. Which means Beis Din already came, and Beis Din said, you have to pay up. He did not pay cash he was supposed to. Payday came, due date came. He didn't pay. Then the mashkon was taken. Whole different story. Then, of course, it's payment. Because why are you taking the candlesticks? He was already past payday, past paying time. At that point, I lost my patience, and I say, you don't have any cash, you don't have land. I like those candlesticks. It's called bailiffs. In American English, they also say bailiffs. Yeah. Beseder, you get what I'm saying? At that point, says Rabbi Lezer, oh, I agree that then, of course, it's called already a kinyan and your shomer sochor. Why is your shomer sochor? Because then, of course, it took the candlesticks to be yours, and your ownership is much higher. Why aren't you the owner? Oh, because he still has a chance to come, let's say tomorrow, I don't know exactly the time, yeah, and still pay you back cash and get back the candlesticks. Basically, what Rabbi Akiva said about the beginning of the process, Rabbi Lezer agrees to when it's the end of the process, when it's already time, mamish payday. But Lamaisa, very good. So Mishnah doesn't contradict Rabbi Lezer. The Mishnah speaks about a guy who was malve, and then let's say a month when it's payday, then he took the candlesticks. That's called already payment. Then he's called a shomer socho. That's how Mishnah said shomer socho. Rabbi Lezer agrees to the Mishnah. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, very clear. I already have to be paid. The red deadline came. Now you're not paying. Of course, now that's already 80% mine to be shomer socho. Everyone agrees to that. All very nice. And the Mishnah and Rabbi Lezer are all the same. Whether Rabbi Lezer or Rabbi Akiva argued at the beginning of the process, that's a shaila. Frag Digmar, that would be a very nice answer. Frag Digmar, nice, but things have to fit into the lashon of the Mishnah. The idi, both. Idi means both this and that. He'll vow ala mashkon ktani. The problem is, yeah, the Mishnah, in both occasions, both the Mishnah and the Brisa we saw, they both say he'll vow al hamashkon. He'll vow al hamashkon means what? He lent him over a mashkon. What does it mean? Rosh Chodesh Sivan was the lending, was the loan, and then was the mashkon. So giving a nice terrace, which could be halachically correct, but it's not, you can't put it in the Mishnah. Don't tell me that the Mishnah spoke about a case where everyone agrees, but at the end of the process, when he was supposed to be paid and he didn't pay, the bailiffs come with Bezdin, with the thugs come and take. That's not the case. It's true, but that's because the Mishnah says Ilvao ala mashkon, meaning the beginning of the process. And the Mishnah says at the beginning of the process, what happens is already shomer socher like Rabbi Akiva, and not to shomer chinam like Rabbi Eliezer. The Mishnah is again not good with Rabbi Eliezer, because the Mishnah does talk about the beginning of the halva when he lent him the money, not when he came with the Beis Din's bir yoinim. Ela loy kasha. So we're trying to answer differently. Attempt number 2. Loy kasha. Kan shilvao mois, kan shilvao peiros. As we said, Ilva mois versus peiros, nothing to do with all this business, mashkon stories. No. When a person lent money, he's not gaining anything by lending money. And therefore what? Says Rabbi Eliezer, shomer chinam. You got a mashkon? Thank you. Mashkon is just ways for me to get back what I deserve. That's not called extra schar. Yeah, if you pay for my dirty carpet that your dog made, it's not schar. It's just bringing things back to normal. Kan shilvao peiros. Oh, our Mishnah that views it as schar is a person, as we explained before, a person lent peiros. Peiros means what? You lent the person fruit, could be usually wheat. Normally fruit, even in the fridge, normally they eventually decay and rot nice and slow, even 2023 with all the preservatives, right? Mimela, when I lent you peiros, means I don't really need them that urgently, otherwise I wouldn't have brought them. You're going to give me next week fresh fruit. It's not ribis. Dr. Chavrus, it's not ribis, shomer, because not. At the end of the day, I gave you fresh fruit. They give me fresh fruit of the same level. Elamai, during that week, I didn't have to have them rotten and then buy. It's a very indirect term. It's not called ribis, but thank you. Okay. And therefore, that's it. That's a simple answer. Nothing to do with mashkon. Leave mashkon alone. Nothing. Poshet, the question is, am I marviach from the loan or not? Something which is a side thing. Peiros, I'm gaining something. Why am I shomer socher? Because I'm very, very happy that the fruit are rotting or being eaten in your house rather than rotting in my kitchen. That's all. And therefore, when I have your collateral, you have my peiros, it's a gain-gain win-win situation. It's a little bit more than actually just holding to what I have, because I'm really happy that it's by you. Therefore, that's called shomer socher. Very good. That's out of the whole business of Rabbi Eliezer and Akiva. Everyone would agree to that. There's a side benefit. The fruit in your house, I'm very happy. Those bananas were beginning to rot. Oh, he loves them. He's going to give me the same level of rotting bananas next week when I'll be hungry. Oh, very good. I'm happy. That's called shomer socher. Practic again, nice, but the loshon is difficult. If you remember, the Mishnah says on Mediktani Seifa, it says in the Seifa of the Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Ilval Mois Shomer Chinam. Rabbi Yehuda is the one who says that if a person lent his friend money, he's not getting anything, that the money is lying down by his friend, used by his friend, so it's a Shomer Chinam. Collateral, Shomer Chinam, which is exactly like, so far, that's good with Rabbi Eliezer. Ilval Peres Shomer Socher. Oh, you lent him fruit, you're shomer socher, because you're happy that the root are not decaying by you, but are eaten by him. That's very nice, but that's Rabbi Yehuda talks like Rabbi Eliezer. Michlal, that is to say, we can derive from here, that's Michlal, the Tanakama, lo shaniloi, right? Tanakama and Rabbi Yehuda argue. Tanakama is the one who always said it's shomer socher, regardless to what you give him, even money. You lent shomer socher, you got a collateral shomer socher on the mashkon? Mid-air collision with Rabbi Eliezer. It's against Rabbi Eliezer again. It's Rabbi Yehuda who's Rabbi Eliezer, but it's not the entire Mishnah. The Mishnah is still not Rabbi Eliezer friendly. And so the Gemara, no, again, chsur mechsera. We run to chsur mechsera. Kula answers the Gemara, Kula Rabbi Yehuda. Really, the entire Mishnah follows the same Rabbi Yehuda, which is a chassid of Rabbi Eliezer Shita. All good Rabbi Yehuda believes in Rabbi Eliezer, and it's all one big happy family. Tanakama argued on Rabbi Yehuda. The chsur mechsera. The Mishnah is missing a few words in the text. And this is the correct way of reading it. Let's reread now and rewrite the Mishnah. And the person lent his friend what? We're not saying what? Money or fruit? I don't know. And the person lent something to his friend, and now he got what? Mashkon, 20,000 shekels, amazing piece of art, candlesticks. Shomer socher, the person holding the candlestick, shomer socher. Lezer begins to fidget in his seat uncomfortably. He doesn't believe that having a mashkon is a socher. Don't worry. You know when it's true the shomer socher of Lezer and everybody in the room, shilvau peros. Nothing to do with the mashkon, nothing to do with the 20,000 candlestick. Look, patli. It's not so relevant. He's a socher because he's extra happy that the fruit are in his friend's house and not in his house. So the candlesticks are connected to that. You're enjoying every second the candlesticks are there because the fruit are over there. You're happy, extra happy with that. That's called shomer socho. If you lend him money, you're not gaining anything but the money being bayana. You don't take ribis, right? And the candlesticks here, that's not called sochor. They're just making sure I get my money back. It's not called sochor. Rabbi Yehuda Omer. Oh, it's Rabbi Yehuda. Tanakama is Rabbi Yehuda. Tanakama said like Rabbi Yehuda because Rabbi Yehuda Omer. Tanakama believes in that system, in that idea, in that approach, because Tanakama is Rabbi Yehuda follower. Rabbi Yehuda Omer v'amar shomer chinam v'apel shomer socho. He is the one who initiated the idea that if you get money, that's shomer chinam. If you lend money, you're not getting anything. And the collateral, adraba, I believe like Rabbi Eliezer, it's just like a leash on the dog. It just makes sure it comes back, nothing else. Paris is shomer socho under his dog. Very nice. So the Mishnah is Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yehuda is Rabbi Eliezer, and Rabbi Eliezer here so far survived it. He seems to be okay with the Mishnah. Leave Rabbi Kiva alone for now. Rabbi Eliezer is in the focus. Yihochi, frag the Gemara. No, we're not leaving alone Rabbi Akiva. My mistake. Says the Mishnah says the Gemara, so that Mishnah is against Rabbi Akiva. Mamish against. Why? What Rabbi Akiva would say if you gave him cash to look after you, not merviach, he gave you 20,000 shekels candlesticks, says Rabbi Akiva, that's schar. Because now you got paid. It's more than being secure, maybe. You Be'etzem are so close to being the owner of those candlesticks and you love them and you want them and you're yours, kimat. That's called Baruch. That's called a shomer sochar. We're going to see that partial ownership, it's almost by me. You're going to see it soon, is a schar. That's to the left. That's mechayiv me more than regular shomer sochar. And the Mishnah clearly says against Rabbi Akiva. Why is that wrong? That the Mishnah should not be like Rabbi Akiva. We're going to see soon. I'll tell you now already. Because there's a Gemara, in Sanhedrin Pevov says Rashi, that Stam Mishnah Rabbi Meir, Stam Sifra Rabbi Yehuda, Sifri Rabbi Shimon, the Kula Libed Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva, unless known otherwise, is always the same shit as the Mishnah. Mishnah is Sifri, all followed the opinion of Rabbi Akiva, which made sense, because as far as I know, Rabbi Akiva was the Rebbe of these people. Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Meir, he was the Rebbe of those people. It makes sense. The Mishnah should be Rabbi Akiva, not Rabbi Eliezer. So if the Mishnah is not like Rabbi Eliezer, it's so. Now you're so extreme. You're teaching me now the Mishnah against Rabbi Akiva. That's against the rule. Mishnah should follow Rabbi Akiva. Yes, it's better that Mishnah follows Rabbi Akiva, not Rabbi Eliezer. Ella, 1 second. Oh, at that point we say we gave up, white flag. At this point we say, Nachon, what can we do? The Mishnah, if you read the Mishnah this way with Chsur Mechsara, it would follow only Rabbi Eliezer. It's a cruel game. You can't follow both Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Akiva. So you can't say the Mishnah is not Rabbi Akiva. You much prefer. It's much preferable to say Mishnah is not Rabbi Eliezer. Now let's put the story that I told you in the beginning. Rabbi Eliezer is Shamuti. Shamuti means what? Rabbi Eliezer was Beshamta, or from Beis Shammai. It means two things. Rabbi Eliezer Shamuti either means he was Becherem Nidui, excommunicated, or he was from Beis Shammai. Both are not good brownie points for a Tana to have. I'm sorry, I shouldn't talk like that. But that's therefore Rabbi Eliezer. If push comes to shove, we have to play the cruel game here. You have to take sides. Like you have to vote. Then what? You have to pull what? You have to now vote for Rabbi Akiva, not Rabbi Eliezer. So Rabbi Eliezer is not following your Mishnah, and the Mishnah is not with Rabbi Eliezer. So far, that's what we're saying. Now, we will try and revive things very soon, but that's what we hold at this point. Quick ones, because I do want to continue, but I'm open for questions now. Many times people ask questions, make comments that make me, very humbled. Thank you very much. I should have continued. I should have finished the last point. In other words, it's not like we're playing plasticine with the Mishnah. The Pashup Pshat of the Mishnah, by the way, is not with Rabbi Eliezer. The Pashup Pshat of the Mishnah said what? I'm sorry. What did it say? A shomer mashkon, the person shomer mashkon is a shomer socho. That's not Rabbi Eliezer. We can twist the Mishnah, so to speak, with the Chsur Mesravachik Tani to say the real Rabbi Yehuda, which said like Rabbi Eliezer, is really the author of the entire Mishnah. And then the whole Mishnah would be Rabbi Eliezer. To twist and turn the Mishnah to yes be like Rabbi Eliezer and not be like Rabbi Akiva, that we're not mechuyev to do. Why? I'll leave the Mishnah as it was. I'll untangle the balagan and put the Mishnah straight. What? The Tanakama says, shomer mashkon the shomer sochar, pshat Rabbi Akiva. It's better to stay with pshat with Rabbi Akiva than twist it around to be like Rabbi Eliezer, which is anyhow not the author of the Mishnah, more likely to follow Rabbi Akiva than Rabbi Eliezer. Is it clear? Yeah? Is that what you said maybe, but you made me say that. No? Okay. Things get complicated. Back to the base. There's a basic machlokes between Rabbi Lezer and Rabbi Akiva. When a person got what? I lent my friend $20,000. May Hashem help me, I'll have that, yeah. And what I got is $20,000. Move some shekels to dollars, whatever. Yeah. His candlestick of his Alta Alta Bubi from Japan. Okay, very nice. What's my status? Says Rabbi Lezer. Now, up until now, what was our understanding? It's Farah. Rabbi Lezer says, listen, the way I look at mashkon, the way I'm taught, the way I believe, mashkonis are just ways, means of pressure, like you said, ways to prove that you're not going to lie to me. I wasn't yet paid. I'm supposed to get it 20,000. I'm holding those, right? So to make sure you pay me back for whichever reason. That's shomer chinam. To just make sure I come even with you, you're not going to steal from me. That's not called shomer socher. You could argue on that too, but let's assume. In other words, the mashkon itself is just like security cameras. It's not payment of itself. Abikiva says no. You're shomer socher. Why? Because when you got those 20,000 shekels candlesticks, yeah, halacha views it, even if you're not eyeing them with the greedy eyes. Halacha views it, according to Bekiva, as a payment. Maybe it's a prepayment. You bet some more paid. Of course, in a month's time, if he behaves himself, he's going to give you, the lover will give you back 20,000 cash, and you'll have to give him the candlesticks, which you may like better, which you already have in your hands. But because you're that much closer to being paid, you're like 80% being paid, that's already called shomer socher. It's not just called being even. Being even could be just stam. I could get a star, I could get a hidden camera, I could get my thugs friends to threaten him. Yeah? I'm saying to get the actual item, says Rabbi Kiva, is more than just security. It's mamish close to being paid. Paid, that's already, when I look after that, my level of obligation is higher. You have to also understand, shomer socher is not only about being paid. Shomer socher means they have a higher obligation. That's the idea. That's the idea. Now I hit the nail on the head, because you guys are amazing. The idea is, there is a reason for me to look after the candlesticks better. It's not just, this guy's a schwindler. I'm going to hold those sticks in order. No, I really am so close to being paid. That makes me should make me be more responsible and look after them on a higher level, that even if I locked my house normally with the code and everything that were stolen, I should still be chayev unless it was a super good shomer. That's the idea. However, now we're going to see different ideas on how to read in different ways, Machlokes Rabbi Kiva and Rabbi Eliezer, in a way that may, again, fit into our Mishnah. We didn't give up on Rabbi Lezer completely. That's why I understand it at least. Lema bedeloi shavi mashkon shiur zuzi. Frag the Gemara, not frag. We're suggesting. What's lema? A suggestion. Lema, let us say. Bedeloi shavi mashkon shiur zuzi. What does it mean? Maybe up until now, I was very consistent by telling you the loan was 20,000, and the thing, or 20,000 is the mashkon. Let's say what happens with the mashkon is worth much less. Let's talk lower numbers. I lent my friend 1,000 shekels. I got a very, very small candlestick worth 100 shekels, yeah, from different material, yeah, glass. Okay, so I lent him 1,000, and I got one of 100. Okay, so what does that mean? Maybe they argue in this case, ube de Shmuel kamiflagi. They argue in the idea and the philosophy of Shmuel. What did Shmuel say? In other words, of course, they didn't know of Shmuel. Shmuel lived after them, but maybe the idea presented by Shmuel already existed in the time of Tanoim, and maybe their argument in its core is really what Shmuel spoke about. What Shmuel? Domer Shmuel. Hi man, let's say there was a person, the Ozpei Alfa Zuz Elechavri, he lent his friend 1,000 Zuz, the Anachle Kata de Magla Ilavayu. Instead of giving him a good 1,000 shekel worth of what? Collateral, mashkon, what did he give him? The cut of the magal, which is the handle of the sickle. I don't know. I have many, many sickles at home. We all do, right? I don't know how much is the value of a handle of a sickle. I have, my Menjenish has not much, less than 1,000 zuz, maybe 100. What? Says the parrots, we'll get to you. So you were saying it's like a token, it's like a simon. Says Shmuel, Ovad Kata de Magla, Avdu Alfa Zuzi. Wow, which means he basically says, if you lost the 100 shekel worth of sickle handle, yeah, you lost the entire 1,000. What does it mean? What does it mean? What did you say, my friend? Use the word token. Let me ask, before we explain, I'll give an example. I'm going a little bit twisted today. I'm in a funny mood today. In the Israeli Chanayot, I'm not sure about in Chutz La'aretz actually, What did they tell you? Chanaya is for free. Then after an hour, it's 20 shekels. Another hour too. And if you lost your ticket, forget about smartphones. You lost your ticket. How much do you have to pay for the entire day? I only parked it for 1 hour, for 2 hours. Why the entire day? Oh, in other words, it's very interesting. That cartis, that ticket, the not parking ticket in the street. I mean the good parking ticket that the machine dispenses. Yeah. What about that? It's worth what? I don't know. The chanaya is 20 shekels. But if you lost it, then you have to pay them, I don't know, a whole day. I don't know, 500. Yeah. Oh, so the same ticket has two different values. Depends if you present the ticket to the guy, then you only pay 20. And if not, you have to pay 1,000. Now let's read Shmuel again. Says Shmuel, when you got the 100, it says there's something very interesting. When I lent you 1,000, you gave me a 100 shekel item, then of course, if I give you back the 100, then what? You have to give me back 1,000. True. If I lost it, we decided, listen to this. That's a big Kiddush of Shmuel that not everyone agrees to. We have to stomach it. Says Shmuel, when I got the 100 that represents the 1,000, it's Ki'ilu, you were temporarily paid the entire 1,000 in that 100. What do you mean? Of course, if you give back that 100, you'll get the worth of a small handle. You'll get the entire 1,000 back, right? Or maybe you decide to keep it because you like it so much, a cutesy thing. I'll have to pay you 900, a new agreement. But if you lost it, you lost everything, like the parking ticket. Why? Because we decided that's the idea of Shmuel, that small item represents the entire 1,000. We condensed 1,000 shekels into that one. You said a good word. Into that one token worth 100. We shavi anafshe, we're mashvi, word exists a lot in Chazal. Shavi, we evaluated it's worth 1,000. Maybe that's the argument. Oh, maybe that's the argument. That's what we want to say. Maybe that was the machlokes who, maybe that shomer sachar shomer chinam. Maybe that was actually machlokes between them, between Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Eliezer. Do we believe in Shmuel or not? Right? Because what did Rabbi Akiva say? Rabbi Akiva said, you lost your mashkon, you lost everything. Hey, that's Shmuel. And Rabbi Eliezer says, I don't believe this can say nonsense. Rabbi Eliezer can say nonsense. Yeah? Rabbi Eliezer says, Ma pitom, that's 100. I didn't lose. No, maybe I lost 900. And 100, I still have to pay 900. I don't believe in the 1,000 being condensed into 100. Therefore, if I lost it, I would still claim back the money. Right? I'm a shomer chinam. Maybe that's the argument between them. And therefore, our Mishnah could be good. Because our Mishnah didn't speak in such a case. Says the Gemara, no. If the mashkon is not worth the same as the mashkon, excuse me, as the loan, no. And that's halacha. Shmuel lost. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, Shmuel is always good when he's against Rav in Dini Mominus. Here, Shmuel is alone, and the Tanoim don't seem to. No, Shmuel. Shmuel is not. Shmuel is right against Rav, not alone. Leislo de Shmuel. The hocha over here, but the shavi shiur zuzi. No, here really the argument is when it's the same value, 20,000, 20,000. So what is the argument? One more line. I know we're past the time. One more attempt to say what's the core, what's the root of the machlokes between Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Akiva. They argue regarding a very, very, very famous concept of Rabbi Yitzchak. Says Rabbi Yitzchak, Dom Rabbi Yitzchak, minayin lebal choiv shekoin mashkon. How do you know the Baal Choiv? A person who lent money now holds a mashkon. He's the owner of the mashkon. Shenema, it says the Torah says if you give back the mashkon, it's great charity. It's tzedakah on your side. If he was not the owner of the mashkon, what kind of charity it is? I'll borrow your I don't know. I'll borrow your bag. Give it back to you. What a charitable person! Put a plaque on the wall. What do you mean? Elamai must be that the person who held the mashkon has some kind of ownership, and it's a big machlokas to show what does that mean. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. But now the Gemara wants to say that that's the argument between Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Akiva. Do we say that the person holding a mashkon is like a partial owner or not? I can explain it tomorrow, and we went into Mechaber Sinai, but time is against me now. You want to say who says what? Oh, so Rabbi Eliezer would say the shomer chinam, not an owner. Rabbi Akiva says you are an owner. Owner doesn't mean is a full owner. We're going to explain tomorrow what does it mean to own the mashkon. Don't worry. Bezos Hashem. I hope Hashem should give us koyach. The post of Voyness of Edelstein. Story time to those who behaved. This is all of you. Very, 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 very quick. The stories of Edelstein said about the Bava Sali. Ah, the recording. And you hold. It's a very fascinating story.